Vaporwave, the dead. Not my dad, but the dad of synthwave, chill pop, cyber trucks, cyber conspiracies, future funk, lo-fi plus reverb remixes, echo jams, vapor memes. Maybe I'm not too qualified to do this video, but I know it is retro, it is futuristic, it is purple, it is Japanese samples. Is it only about music though? Is it a fully artistic movement? Is it even art? Let's discuss. The genre that basically defined my personality during my teenage years, kinda anticipated this state of the entertainment industry, where I like to call the nostalgia entertainment industry, where everything is just a reference of something that we loved in the past. And it is also the father and the son at the same time of this like old TV and VHS tape style, where it's like grainy and saturated, that it's like theoretically bad, but that we learn to love. But what I think is most interesting is that it uses those crazy like liminal space kind of thing to create this sense of familiarity and belonging to something that you have never been. It creates like a void. It's not in the future, it is not in the past, but it's like this beautiful pink with impact font void that is constantly changing like the foam on a sea wave. The feeling I get when I'm listening to vaporwave music or some vaporwave style animation or even some cutscene from an anime with a copyright free song on top, the feeling I get is like I'm having a glimpse of a distant dream, but at the same time hits so close to home. It's crazy. This mix of artificial gimmicks with purely human stuff like 80s and 70s samples or even Greek statues combined with this Atari style graphics create this crazy mix that it's nothing close to what it is to be in a reality in this human world, but at the same time it describes perfectly what it is to be a human right now. Look, right now we just constantly feed the digital world with human stuff. It's like we're crazy about it. We feed them landscapes, art, kids' homework to ChatGPT, and this all in an attempt to immortalize those things, share and connect. But at the same time, we are feeding those things to another dimension that we will never be able to touch. No matter how similar we make it to the human world, we're never gonna be able to touch it or live on it. I'm sorry for those VR enthusiasts right now, but yes, I mean it. So what I'm trying to say here is that in this attempt to touch the digital world, we basically accidentally created vaporwave. But can it be considered art? I'm glad you asked. I think a much smarter guy than me once said that art talks about life, philosophy talks about art, and politics basically destroyed everything. It might be better you quote me on this one. So art tries to put in material terms things that we can't fully comprehend or we can't fully talk about, and then philosophy comes in and try to like mix some words and like debate some things from the concept that art brings to this world basically. With all this sidetrack inside this completely made up logic, it is safe to say that vaporwave might be art, and actually even better than every philosopher ever. Some say though that this is on the deep end of the internet freaks and only warped teenagers could enjoy. That this is just on the same level as some every other shitpost meme. And for that I have to say, do your shitpost meme has Japanese samples? So now that we mentioned Japanese samples, I want to talk about this other subgenre that is probably the most repetitive, formulaic, and cheap music genre of all time and that I absolutely love, that is future funk. It has a kick to keep you moving, but not too much, because we don't move too much. It has predictability. You know where you're getting into. There is no surprises. When you open the door, you don't want to know what is inside. But every once in a while, we get this tiny, delicious Japanese sample. And the best part, it was obviously taken without any type of authorization. And this made me think, maybe this whole vaporwave genre never made any money, or at least never made any money to the artist that made it. Because if everything is simple, did it only made money to like 70s and 80s and Japanese artists that are probably already dead? This is just a theory, but I don't think it's that far-fetched. Actually, this theory is not far-fetched at all. Because when I was searching to do this video, I stumbled upon one of the most influential musicians of this whole style, and he was actually only 17 when he released his album that like kind of defined the whole genre. Of course, I'm talking about Home. home in his album Odyssey. It's the staple of synthwave and vaporwave graphics. I know some people will be mad because they say he's only synthwave and chillwave, but really, I'm not being that specific in this video. So let's just consider him vaporwave for now. And thinking about a guy who's only 17 and is doing like synth music, maybe he don't use that many samples and maybe he monetizes it on Bandcamp or SoundCloud or stuff, but I don't think he got rich with it, and I don't think any other artist got rich with it. And I really don't know if artists like Saint Pepsi that heavily use samples and heavily use even like Japanese advertising from the 70s, I think, or 60s or 80s, but I don't know if they have a way to make money with their production. I hope they did make some money, but if so, definitely not much. But now, since I mentioned this one specific artist, I want to mention the one that like I think has the most iconic image, at least. The music is even more iconic to the vaporwave because the last one was like more of a synthwave type, right? I want to mention her because she has this crazy like pink cover with the Greek statue that I think is what most people think about vaporwave. And her name is Vectroid. And also I think she was like pretty young when she was doing this, so but she's not even the main character of vaporwave, because I ended up finding this very interesting question: who's the king of vaporwave? And apparently vaporwave do have a king. And this king would be a guy called George Wayland Clanton Jr. Apparently as a king, he's not very known because I didn't know this name before. But this has two reasons. First, I'm not very well informed, unfortunately. And second, he don't use his real name because his real name is not very vaporwavy, right? He uses names like these ones in the screen. The one that stood out to me and it's all over my Spotify is this Mr. Spirit Japanese letters. I think I heard like 1,000 songs from him. I didn't even know like if he was a guy or if he was a band or whatever, which I think it's pretty interesting because vaporwave artists, they don't care much about their particular fame. They just kind of doing it for the sake of doing it. And I think this is very admirable, and this movement will have my respect and will probably influence every design I ever made in my entire life. So anyway, this video was a full experiment, and if you got into this part, thank you so much. I truly appreciate, and see you. Bye bye.